Now I'm going to tell you, because we've done it every single month and people have seen the company grow exponentially. Hi, my name's Devon. Today I own several multi-million-dollar companies. We started with $5,000 in a credit card. I don't know the easy way. I only know the hard way. Hey everybody, welcome to the Whiteboard Entrepreneur Podcast, where I give straightforward advice to fuel the entrepreneur in all of us. Today I want to talk to you about what every business owner needs to do every single month. And I think this is very important. Actually, I'm going to expand this out past business owner, and I'm going to say this is what every leader should do every single month. In this way I run my companies. I think if you're a pastor, if you're a leader, if you're a business owner, if you have anybody that reports to you, any type of leader, this is a way to kind of hold yourself and everybody within your organizational accountable for betterment every single month, which I think is the key to growth, right? Like, you don't just grow accidentally. You grow through constant betterment of your company and your organization. And so what we do is we call it EOMs, end of month meetings. I just finished them this afternoon, so I'm all revved up. I'm excited. But people ask me all the time, like, hey, how do you do your EOMs? What's your structure? How do you do your monthly reporting packages? And so I'd like to say that these can evolve, but the basics of it is you're going to have basically three different things you report on, in my opinion. So you're going to have each one of your leaders or each person that reports to you report on three basic things every single month. And the first is basically, we'll call it very simply, their to-do list or their takeaways or their projects that they're working on at this particular time. Now, everyone has kind of like their day job, but most of the time you have kind of your day job, and then you have these various projects that you're working on. And so what we like to do is we hold accountability around those projects, right? Because if no one ever holds you accountable to anything, the likelihood of getting things done becomes very low. And if you're a constant betterment company, if your organization is always trying to improve, you're always taking on these project improvements and these various tasks. So what we do is every single month, each leader is responsible for reporting against their to-do list. And we spend quite a bit of time, and we literally ask about every single project that they're working on outside of their day job, if you understand what I mean. So again, they have their normal, I'm always doing this is what I do, but these are my projects that I'm working on. And what they'll do is basically report on, hey, this was finished, it's successful, on to the next thing, it's done, success, right? Or, hey, there's a blocker with this. The reason we can't finish this is because of X, Y, Z. And then we use that time to try to solve the blocker, or get rid of the blocker, or find out, that's still blocked. Or they give an update on it. Hey, this pushed out 2 weeks, but here's the status report and the update on it. And so there's this accountability around it. And even if you've done nothing, and this is sometimes the most important thing, is you have to report and say, hey, this was number 10 on my to-do list. I just didn't get to it. It has not even been started. And so the progress update is not started. But there's something very powerful about every single month having to report against that to-do list and working through that to-do list. And trust me, number 10 is going to get done next month. These blockers are going to get removed, because when they're reporting to me and everyone within the organization, when we report, we go, hey, there's a blocker, and it's this person right there, right? And then we remove those blockers. We deal with those blockers. We do whatever needs to be done so that people can get their job done, so that we can have constant betterment and improvement. The second thing that they're reported on during the EOM is simply people, personnel issues, problems that have to do with anything that has to do with people. So this would be everybody that reports to them. And basically they'll give an update that says, hey, here's some performance issues I have. This person is excelling. This person deserves to get promoted. Hey, I think we should transfer this person over here to this department. I think they'd be better off there. And we're looking at this every single month to raise people up. This person needs more training, right? This person is wonderful, but they'd be way better off in finance. And so we don't ever allow people to be within, sit in an organization or a department where they're not achieving and they're not being successful and they're not being fulfilled, or they're in the wrong position, because we're constantly looking at the people and making sure that they're achieving. If they're having a bad month, we want to know about it. If they're going through something as an executive team, I want to know, how can we help? Is there something we can do? Or do they need more training? Are they unstuck? Do they need 2 weeks off? Tell me about how we're handling the holidays. Basically, anything and everything that has to do with your people within your organization. And this is super important, because if you don't talk about your people, if you don't care about your people, and I mean literally talk about them, and not just the numbers, not just how they're performing, but how they're professionally growing, how they're doing as a person. Like, when you lose touch with the actual people within your organization, then your organization is going to fall. So this is always something that we spend time. And the question is, do you actually talk about each and every single person in the organization every single month? And the answer is basically yes, because every single one of my department heads has to report on each and every one of their people and how they're doing and how they're progressing, and what they need. Is there anything that we can do? Should they be promoted? How their career pathing, all of these things. So literally, even though I may not be able to pick somebody out of a lineup, maybe I've never even met these people, I know how they're doing within the organization, and it keeps us close, it keeps us connected, and it makes sure that everyone from the top down cares about each other and is giving people the value that they deserve within the organization, the time and the focus that they deserve. The last thing that we report on is basically, your numbers. And what this is basically the results versus their goals, right? And this is very important. And you can't just do results. Now, if you're a new organization and you're new to starting this, you're going to have to report on results. So one of my organizations right now is very new, and all that they can report on today is results. But every single month I'm on them saying, hey, listen, this is great. I'm glad that we're seeing the results, but we have to soon have the goals versus the results, right? Because I want to know how we're doing against what we said we were going to do. Because if we said we were going to do, $100,000 in sales and we did $90,000 in sales, I want to know why. If we said we were going to do $100,000 in sales and we did $150,000 in sales, I really want to know why, right? Like, these are the questions we want to ask. How are we doing with our actual results versus what our goals were? And what can we do as an organization to constantly improve those? And when we hold this cadence every single month, month over 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 month, you see improvement every single month. Do the math on this. Just take it and say, what happens if we only improve 3% as an organization? Because I bet you right now, if you're thinking, holy cow, if I did this every single month, I would get like crazy better. If we just did this next month, we'd get so much better. Well, let me ask you this. Let's make the number super low. What if you just improved 3% by doing this every single month, every single month, every single month, 3% over 3% over 3% over 3%. If that's what you did consistently, you are going to have your companies, your organizations are going to improve. They are going to excel. They are going to get exciting. They're not going to improve linearly. They're going to improve exponentially. But you have to be disciplined and consistent. The reason they're called end of month is because it's every single month. At the end of every single month, you have to do this. This isn't like, hey, we have a monthly meeting when we feel like it. It's like, no, every single month we have our end of month meetings. Sometimes I'm on vacation. Sometimes I'm traveling. We still hold these, right? We move them around, or we'll do them remote, or we'll do them in person, but we plan them. They're important. Everybody, all our leaders dial in. Everyone has a time. Everyone has stuff that they have to report on. And in the beginning, I'm not going to lie to you, in the beginning, this was a burden. Everyone in the organization felt like, oh my gosh, it's EOMs. Oh my gosh, I got to prepare for Devon. Oh my gosh, I got to put this together. And everyone thought it was this like burden. Now I'm going to tell you, because we've done it every single month, and people have seen the company grow exponentially. People have seen their departments grow and excel and win and succeed exponentially. And people have seen themselves grow because every single month you are being challenged. I'm being challenged. Every single person reporting is being challenged to how do we grow? How do we get better? And when every single month you have that kind of accountability and that kind of, I want to call it pressure, but that, that type of growth, constant improvement mindset, you can't help but get better. And so the question is, well, this is just for your executives, right? Well, no, that's not really true, right? Because remember we talked about each and every single executive reports on all of their individuals. Well, how do they know how to report on their individuals? Well, because everyone in the organization has these end of months and end of day where everything rolls up through this. So it permeates from the top down, from the bottom up. Everyone in this organization through these end of month meetings has this ability and this expectation of constant improvement. I'm Devon. This is Whiteboard Entrepreneur. I know if you begin and consistently implement end of month reporting and accountability, you will grow. This will help you. I'm Devon. This is Whiteboard Entrepreneur Podcast.